To be honest with you,
myself the other day.
I shit myself twice a year.
Real talk. No bull. Real talk. We're putting it all on the table. You know what to do.
Yo, welcome. Episode 18.
18.
We're
getting there.
We're getting there. Tonight we have guest on the show, Joel Crowe from Sunny Coast. Welcome, mate.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah,
Thank you for
man.
inviting me. Make me feel special.
Yeah.
Lovely
yeah.
setup you got,
Oh, thanks, man.
and
Thanks.
loving the energy you guys are bringing. It's amazing.
Yeah, a little bit of everything,
Yeah.
eh? A little bit of everything. The masks actually came from a dead lady's house.
That's nice to know.
Yeah. And
Was she wearing them?
Nah.
No.
I work in housing,
Oh yeah.
and sometimes when people die,
Yeah.
in
Estate sale.
well, it's more we go in to do a cleanup,
Yeah.
and once stuff's been cleared out by family and this and
Yeah.
that, if anything's left over, then the yardies come to clean it up.
Yeah, nice.
and
Oh,
then,
mate, you know what? Someone's probably going to be watching this and going, that's my fucking mask.
wow,
That's
yeah.
that's such and such's
Yeah.
masks.
It's
Yeah, I know.
Heavy too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
metal?
yeah. I'm not really sure what it is, but yeah.
Whatever it is heavy.
But I didn't.
was surprised.
I couldn't.
It's like
I
an
couldn't
alloy.
let them get thrown out.
I would not throw them out.
Nah.
I'd be
so-
wearing them all the time,
so I
like,
had
with a
to-
sword.
yeah.
It's just a stick running around with a
That's
stick.
it, that's it, man. That's it. So we were put on to you by our awesome friend Stephen Hurst,
Yes.
and great man that he is,
yes,
and
he is a good man.
our fearless cult leader.
Yep.
And
Yes.
yeah, that's how I refer to him.
Yep.
And man, we were inspired by your story that we loosely know, and
No, thank you.
and so we it's
Steve talking me up again.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what Steve's like.
Yeah.
And so yeah, man, it's awesome that you made it down.
Yeah,
Come
no
on.
worries.
Come on the cast with us, and
Yeah, no
And-
worries. My dad just lives like 5 minutes away, so
Oh,
gave
choice.
me a thing to come visit him. So
yeah,
staying
awesome,
with him.
man.
Two
yeah.
birds stoned at once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bit of connection there.
Yeah.
nice, man.
Yeah, no, Steve, he's awesome, and what he's doing with the community and dads in general,
Yeah.
and even not families, is amazing.
That's
Good work,
right.
Steve. Shout out to you.
Yeah, shout out
Who's
Steve.
Yeah, I met Steve through Dion, who is a coach. Both of our he's a life/business coach.
Yep.
And Steve and I were doing very similar things. He has obviously dad's community, and I was doing a veterans community at the same time. I still have it, but I'm not really putting energy into that. My journey is altered and changed. Yeah, so and then we catch up, and I wish him all the best. Like what he's doing with the community is amazing. I really love it. It's amazing. So I had him on my podcast once, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I've only been in Australia about 2.5 years, and
Okay.
when I came over from NZ, I got put onto the community straight away, and I was just like, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
It's local to me.
Yep.
Heaps going on.
Yeah,
I love it. you
It's
know.
amazing. It's
yeah.
impressive. And, it's amazing because community is a huge thing. And then especially as dads, I know so many dads that will just sit in their house, you know what I mean, and not talk
right.
to anyone, not go see anything or do anything, have no hobbies or anything like that. And from what I've learned on my journey, because I've done that, especially after leaving the army, I withdrew from the world and spent 2 years isolated in my house. And I've realised in my journey that connection is one of the most powerful things for healing and for growing. Love is so bloody powerful, and just the love of brothers and sisters, and yeah, it's amazing. So the fact that Steve's now doing it's probably up to 3,000 people in
Yeah,
Yep.
we have-
his community.
yeah,
That's
close to-
incredible. So 3,000 dads, that energy together of bonding, mateship, brotherhood is incredible. Good work, Steve.
Yeah, that's right, man. Yeah, it's right. That's it, man. Yeah, and this podcast was created
Yeah.
because of the community,
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
yeah,
And then the community's running it. You know what I mean? That's
right, man.
amazing.
That's right.
The community's coming together just to keep it going. So
That's it, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. So you got a pretty powerful story, man.
apparently, I
Apparently.
don't see it as that. You know what I
Nah,
mean? But
nah, I don't think you would. But as you put it, us filthy civvies, we don't see that kind of life, right? And I mean, for you, even getting into the army, you had a massive life quest even getting to the army.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, if you want, man, like let's
All right, the quick
rewind.
rundown
Yeah,
that I've got
quick
to
rundown.
tell psychologists in 10 minutes because I only get an hour with them.
Yeah.
Is essentially mum and dad split up when I was like 3 months old, and something happened there, which I've only found out the truth this year. And my dad was not in the picture, but I didn't know that. You know what I mean? And then mum had remarried, and at like 5 years old, she was remarried. But I was brought up thinking that was my real dad. Then at like 11, mum and I were driving on a highway, and then a car comes up, like a van pulls up and forces mum off like the road, not dangerously, but like, you know, move over, and turned out to be my real dad.
Wow.
And he's like, Diane, is that my son? He hadn't seen me for like 11 years or whatever. So I went back into his life, missed a little bit. My mum then separated from my stepdad at like 7 or 8 years old. And then my stepdad raised me with me and my half sister. And my mum was intermittent out of my life, you know. And so he raised me as my real dad, met my real dad. I decided to live with my real dad, which sort of broke the relationship with me and my stepdad. That didn't work out. Me and my real dad, obviously he had never had a teenage boy. And all of a sudden he's got a teenage boy permanently. And I was a bit of a shit rat bag, to be honest. That ended violently. I ended up back with my stepdad, but that relationship did not. Sorry, that's supposed to be silent. Did not work out, and I ended up homeless at 15. Wow. I then put myself through school for a little bit while working. I like eventually got like an apartment, which the apartment was like, when I checked it out, a couple of windows were smashed in. It was filled with like leaves and like, you know, like rubbish and shit like that. And I said, look, knock the rent down from, I think it was like $75 a week to $60 a week, and I'll clean it all up and fix the windows. And so I did that for a bit, put myself through school for a little bit, couldn't maintain that, got a job full time. And then at like 17, I signed up for the army.
Yeah, wow, man.
And then at the week of my 18th is when I like left for basic training. Then I joined as a combat engineer, which is like the jack of all trades in the military. It's like you do from like finding bombs to disarming bombs to water purification to buildings to concreting to fucking like everything, you know what I mean? And then I went special operation engineer, where my specialty was chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear decontamination and the search for it and stuff for Australia. And then went down the disarming of bombs route. 15 years in, got out, medical discharge. My body's pretty broken. Like I've had 6 surgeries so far. Still have issues. Like I can't throw a tennis ball, like peg a tennis ball for more like 3 times before my shoulder's like giving out. Got out medically because I'd attempted suicide. So I'd gone to like 3 different mental hospitals, I suppose. Was on like a lot of medication and stuff, got kicked out. But you know, that journey was, went to a mental hospital for whatever, for suicide, got then booted out of the army in the same year for physical injuries and my mental health, which obviously did not help my mental health. And then not only did I lose my job, but I lost my identity, my purpose, and my mental health declined even further. So that saw me in and out of mental hospitals over the next year or 2, where my drinking increased, like everything just went, like, you know, when I went real downhill, my anger went through the roof. Like I saw absolute fear in my daughter's eyes, and that, like, you know, that was a real, shook me for a bit. And then hit a point where I had to heal and grow. Like, you know, before I lost like my daughter and lost me and lost everything. And yeah, now I'm on this hippie journey, I suppose. As in a short rundown of my,
Yeah, man. Wow, that's pretty
Full on,
bro. Pretty full on. So
apparently,
what made you choose the army? Like what was that little?
So I always
Turning
ran
point,
around
yeah.
with like guns and things, and with you run around with your friends as a kid and you're like shooting at each other and I don't know. My dad was in the army. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Probably did.
Probably deep seated
Yeah,
somewhere.
deep-seated somewhere. I don't know. I also didn't like bullies. You know what I mean? I had to stand up and look after myself, so may as well do it for others.
Yeah.
We all like to say the patriotic thing is like you're doing it for Australia. I don't think like that was part of my thought process to it. Another big reason was the route I was going down in the life, like the friends I was hanging out with and stuff. They were getting like done for drugs and assaults and stuff like that. So I've always had this like, I don't know, smart decision-making ability that's like, hey, you got to do something now before you really fuck up your life. And the story behind it is I was at a friend's place and we were drunk. We're 16, 17, and an army ad came on TV and we were like, fuck it, let's do it. And so we were called up, and then I was the only one who actually got let in.
Why was that? Why weren't your mates get let in?
Because they probably said stupid shit in the interviews.
Yeah, okay.
Fucking probably said they were going to kill a bunch of terrorists or whatever.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Whereas I was like, I don't know, I just said the truth in my interviews. They're like, would you kill anyone? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I've never been put in that situation. Like, hopefully, if it came down to it, I'd prefer to do that than me die. But I honestly don't know. And they were like, oh, that's a great answer.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But, so I joined the army pretty young. And then my first deployment was probably within the year and a half of joining the army.
Yeah. Where did they deploy you to?
East Timor.
East Timor, yeah.
And then 2 or 3 weeks into my trip overseas, my girlfriend at the time, who we'd barely known we'd probably known each other less than a year, she told me she was pregnant. So then I did like 5 and a bit months overseas before I got to come back to Australia, where I think I had like 12 days off before going back overseas.
Yeah.
And in that time, I decided to get married because I didn't want my child to be a bastard child like I was.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend, she was a bastard child as well, and that was just something big to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want that, and so we got married, and then I went back overseas, and then I was really young, and that relationship was never healthy. Didn't last.
Yeah.
Still not healthy now.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
Yeah. We stuck with each other for a few times, broke up a few times, but maybe 5-6 years of that.
Yeah.
Before moving on.
Yeah. So East Timor, I actually had a mate I worked with a guy, I wouldn't call him a mate, but I worked with a guy who worked in East Timor as well, from NZ. He worked for, he was in the SAS for NZ team.
Yep.
And on the podcast I was listening with you earlier, you said that after your deployments, like you couldn't like look at life the same. Like you'd walk into a room and you examine the room, or you see some bush and you're examining the bush and stuff.
Yeah, it's like, it's not even just deployments. It's like just the conditioning from the military itself. Like to make a good soldier, you have to like train certain traits out of people and install new ones in there. And so like, you're like hypervigilance is one of those things. Like everything is a threat.
Yeah, and that's what he said. Like we'd be sitting in the food court and he's like, I could rig this place up to blow this roof in right now. I'm just like, fuck, bro. Like, where did that come from? He's like, but he's like, I can't not think about this sort of shit.
And like my job for 15 years was to find bombs. You know what I mean? IEDs. Like that was my job.
Yeah.
Like one of my core jobs. Everywhere I go, I look for that shit. You know what I mean? Like if I'm like, you know, at the airport, you hear if someone leaves a bag, I'm always there's a coffee cup, like, because as part of my job to train on IEDs, we would make IEDs, not real explosives, like plasticine or whatever is the thing, but and I've made IEDs in fucking, you name it, I can turn anything into an IED. So now everything's like
Steven Seagal.
Holy shit! Like,
MacGyver.
And so for most veterans, and obviously the longer you do in the army or the military, the more conditioned you are and the harder it is to unwire or recondition that. But yeah, so like, yeah, to make a good soldier. But everyone's conditioned, you know what I mean? Like every human is conditioned from society, from the environment, from your parents. Like conditioning is simply like if you're a kid and you get up on a coffee table and then your parents yell at you like, never do that again and give you a hit. Like the chances that kid's ever going to get up on a coffee table again for the rest of their life, you know what I mean? And that's conditioning.
Yeah.
It's just shit that for veterans, the conditioning we go under is to make like the way to win war is what we're taught is through aggression. You know what I mean? Controlled aggression. You're getting shot at. Like this is why we yell and do it. Like when we're doing obstacle courses and stuff like that, it's aggression to get through it all. And so therefore, when we go into the real world, the civilian world, every interaction we have, not only is it a threat because we're hyper vigilant, but the only way we know how to deal with it is through aggression. And so we can come off like even the way we talk, because even the way military people talk is very short, sharp and concise, because especially for radio talk, because you don't want to be on the radio for too long and stuff. So everything's just like, on top of that with the aggression and everything, it's just like, it really affects us because we can see it affecting others, and then but we don't know what's going on because like I might know this stuff, right? I've like looked into the conditioning and like I've done my research, and if you've been on my social media, I've made videos about this stuff. But the average veteran doesn't know this, you know what I mean? And then so when they're interacting with people, and that person's like cowering back or like they're taken back or. The veteran can see this and they don't understand what's happening, and they're like, why doesn't that person understand me, and why are they getting scared, and I'm not even angry, like I'm not even trying to be aggressive. And then then the veteran then goes, I don't want to communicate with people anymore and I'm going to withdraw from the world, and I'm different, I'm misunderstood, and this is where the big disconnect is in the veteran world, and the depression and the suicide and stuff. It's because we are wired differently now because of the training.
Yeah.
Did that play a part in I wouldn't say downfall, but in your downward spiral for your mental health?
100%.
Is that?
Yeah, it's huge. And so I've thought, and if I can find this out, surely governments and things like how many militaries are in the world, and how long have how many countries? Like every country's had a military since the birth of civilization. Surely they know this stuff, and so I've thought of like, why don't they fix it then when we leave the army? And the only literally logical reason I can think of is because if a war kicks off, who are the first people they're calling up? It's the veterans. And you don't want to have to retrain veterans, because then there's no point in calling up veterans. You know what I mean? Like if you've got to retrain them to win a war and stuff. So that is literally the only logical reason I can think of is why.
Yeah. Don't unprogram the programmed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if like right now, if World War III kicked off, they're calling up every fucking veteran they know, saying, "Come back and fight. We need you."
Yeah,
and so
yeah, man, yeah, it's got to be pretty tough.
That's pretty full on.
Pretty tough, yeah. Like I personally don't think I could go into the army.
No,
not because of like the training and all that sort of stuff. Like I love being put under good challenge and good hard times, but it's more like like that desensitization that you'd obviously go through with the things that you see, with the things that you obviously have to do and whatnot. I think that'd be really hard, like I had a guy die in my lap once and I was managing a mountain bike park, just a heart attack, we were trying to give him CPR and defib him and stuff, and even that was fucking heavy. You know what I mean? Like,
that is heavy.
Yeah,
it's heavy for anyone.
I know, it's heavy for anyone. But I mean, as a soldier, that's a very common occurrence. Just seeing that sort of stuff, right? Like,
I don't know if it's common.
Yeah,
I would not class it as common to see like a dead person or anything.
Yeah,
like in war maybe. If it's like heavy war.
Yeah.
But would you feel like you'd be more conditioned to seeing one? If that makes sense.
Yeah. Just say like the Philippines happened. I can't remember the year. Super typhoon, whatever it was, went through the Philippines in whatever year it was. I can't remember now, and killed like 9,000 people. And we got sent over there to go deal with that.
Yeah.
Now, we didn't end up actually having to see any dead bodies, but on the way over there, we're like prepping to like, you're going to be covered in dead bodies. We ended up going to a different area. You know what I mean? Where there was, everything was destroyed, but there was no dead bodies. Yeah. But like on the way over there, they're like, these are your body bags for when you find bodies. This is the process of like cleaning them up, and this is what you have to do, and everything like that. So you're already, and we took a ship there, so it took us a week to get there or whatever. So by the time we got there, it was like 8 or 9 days after the typhoon. But yeah, we'd conditioned ourselves already in that week leading up to it to deal with dead bodies, and everyone was ready to. You know what I mean? Like no one was freaking out about it. No one was worried about it. No one was even talking about it. It was just like that was part of the job.
It's part of the job. Yeah. My granddad. I don't know if you ever heard of the Mount Erebus plane crash that happened way back. I think it would have been the late 60s or something like that, and down in Antarctica. And plane crash from NZ was taking people down there on scenic flights, and it crashed into the side of a mountain, and everyone died. And my granddad was a sergeant in the police force, and he was tasked, him and his guys, to be at the bottom of NZ to retrieve the bodies when they came back from Antarctica, and they had to piece all the bodies back together. And my dad said that he remembers the week that they came home, and granddad just, they were fucked because of the things that they'd seen. He never talked about it. And I was watching a documentary about it when I was about 14. And I said to my dad, because there was old footage on there, I said, Dad, that looks like granddad. He said, yeah, that's granddad. Yep. And he just kind of went back on. I was like, well, I was good questions.
Because you think it's not just dead bodies. Yeah. It's smell. It's like the texture. Like it's all that is what people remember. It's like everything about it. It's not just like an arm. Like they've picked up the arm and blood's got on them. And you can smell it's been dead. They've been dead for a week. You know, like it's pretty fucked.
Yeah. I actually had to deal with a dead body at work a couple of months ago, and that was fucking messed up. I had to do a break-in for the police. Yeah, right. I work for housing maintenance, and I had to do a break-in and she'd been dead on the floor for a week and a half. Yep. I couldn't even see a person. Yeah. It was just fucked. It was like absolutely. I was like, I had to take the next day off. I was like, no, I'm not coming in tomorrow. Fuck this. Yeah. But so. Where else did the army take you? So you've been Timor and then
Philippines. I've been all over the world pretty much with the army. Yeah.
They put you in any like real war situations?
No. Nah. I was supposed to go, and then I fucked up on the piss, and got taken off quite quickly and demoted.
Oh wow.
But yeah,
good
like
thing, bad
war.
Thing.
It was. So I used to think that was a bad thing. Yeah, that I didn't go to like Afghan, especially like, almost every one of my mates went. You know what I mean? And I would fucking sitting there, and I was like, oh my god, what if something happens to them? You know what I mean? Like I need to be tested as a man. Like I wanted to go to be tested as a man, to be shot at and shoot, and not necessarily to kill anyone, but to test me. And so I used to think that was a really bad thing. That I didn't go. And I used to fucking hate myself for it. It was my big regret in life. And now I'm like, it's probably really good I didn't go. Like I got fucked up from other shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like where I was going to, like, let alone, and I've got friends now that are so fucked. Like I've got friends that have killed themselves. And now I've got friends that are so fucked up. Like they literally cannot function and stuff. And that would probably have been me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and so I'm grateful that I didn't. It's hard for me to say that. It's like swallowing a fucking rough. But
100%.
But yeah, so no. And then when I was special operations, our job was domestic counterterrorism. So our job was here in Australia for terrorism. So
yeah. Bit of a blessing in disguise, you know. Yeah. Upon reflection.
Yeah, which was but all my career, probably up until like maybe last year or 2 years ago, I was like, fuck, I can't believe, you know what I mean? Like it was my big thing. Like, I was like, I'd even contemplated like going to fight in Ukraine and stuff to just like do that. And like, I contemplated joining the French Foreign Legion, but I was like, my body just can't handle it anymore. So I'd get found out pretty quick.
How would you go learning French?
This was something, a revelation I had this year. is I find it really shit that it's like only Australia, America, like every other country is at least bilingual, if not multilingual. You know what I mean? Like why? Like I don't know any other language. Like, but I think everyone should. Like, why is it? Like, I've met people that know 5 languages. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I can say like 3 sentences in Japanese. So I'd love to learn another language.
Yeah, man.
I've tried on Duolingo 100
it's
times,
too hard.
but on Duolingo I'm really good. As soon as I put Duolingo down, it's like I'm fucking retarded again.
Yeah, I was having this exact conversation with my wife last night because she's learned Spanish on Duolingo.
That's what
I was trying to learn as well.
And I did Spanish at school for 3 years.
Yeah.
And I said, how are you finding it? Are you learning? And she says, I don't know, I think so. And I was like, I guess the structure of it's weird because when I learned it at school, it was like, we start off with very basics and you're learning all these different things. And then it's like, step it up. But yeah, I feel the same, like coming from NZ, man, like we grew up learning a little bit of Te Reo Māori, Te Reo Māori. And then, we get to choose a language at high school and you might stick with that for a couple of years.
Yep.
And I stuck with Spanish for 3 years and I learned it pretty fluently. But by the time I actually got to South America when I was 25, I couldn't fucking speak it.
Yep.
Because I had no
South
reason.
America is my next trip. I'm doing 3 months of a backpack through it.
Yeah. Oh man, it's
Real
amazing.
spiritual
Yeah.
ayahuasca journey and like,
Yeah, man.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of those journeys is on my bucket list.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get to see a hell of a lot of it, but what I did see was pretty awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice people. Yeah. Good people.
And you're from New Zealand, so I'm half Kiwi.
Yep.
My mum's side of the family is from New Zealand.
Yeah. Cool.
My daughter is half. So if I'm half Kiwi and her mum's full Kiwi but Māori, so my daughter's whatever that ratio is.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's like, my daughter knows some like words and some like songs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, is it Māori language?
Yeah, Māori language, Te Reo Māori.
Te Reo Māori,
Yeah.
My kids know more Japanese than they do Argentinian.
Yeah. That's right.
I know more Spanish from Dora the Explorer.
Oh, yeah.
than from Duolingo.
Man. Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, yeah, I guess that coming out of the army, man, like that would have been really hard, yeah. Like just finding your feet again.
Well, so my whole identity was tied up in that uniform. So I didn't choose to leave. I was medically discharged.
What was the medical discharge?
Mental health, shoulder, back. My fucking spine is like,
cooked.
I've torn everything in my ankle, so I've got rope holding all that together in there. I've torn a bunch of shit in my knee, which I've had surgeries on. I've had multiple surgeries in my back. I tore my bicep from my shoulder. I've got bursitis, fucking tendonitis. I've got arthritis in both shoulders. My spine, my lower L3 to L5 is like non-existent. One is like dehydrated so much and torn, like it leaked out all the liquid into my spinal column. And then I've got facet joint arthritis. Yeah, I'm
fuck, man, if you're an animal, geez, I would have put you down a long time ago.
and what's funny now is like I like literally am in pain every day. I just signed up to do a bodybuilding comp next year. The Defence and Emergency Services one. One, because since leaving the army, I haven't physically challenged myself, and I know that I can strengthen this. You know, I'm getting weaker every year as we get older, and I haven't been working out, and my pain has been getting worse. And so this is my now journey of getting stronger, and because I've like doing challenging things is so fucking rewarding. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
And in the army, we will challenge daily with PT. The challenge, we do a big session at the end of the week. Would be like put on, it's very challenging. You go out bush, you get challenged. You go on, you get courses, you do challenge. You're constantly being challenged, and you're constantly exceeding these challenges, and you're building this confidence within yourself. Like, it's amazing. That's why like a lot of soldiers walk around 10 foot tall and bulletproof. It's because we're constantly like being tested and achieving and surpassing these tests.
You're winning.
And then since I've left the army, I haven't done any of that. Like the hardest thing I did was not kill myself, and that was pretty hard at the time. You know what I mean? Can't say that, can I? I got to be unalived myself. But
no, man, you say however you want.
Oh yeah.
So for the for the algorithm, because if you say that, it'll fucking.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is me testing myself. Like it was only like 2 months ago when I went to Sydney, standing at a fire with a friend who was I was his corporate, like his boss in the army, and we were chatting about this challenging thing, and we're like, fuck it, let's just put on packs tomorrow, and we'll just go stomping through the bush, and we'll go for a camp somewhere, and so 35 kilo packs each, stomping through the bush and along a river, found a big sandstone overhang, slept on the ground by a fire, and it was amazing. And it was really challenging, you know what I mean? To walk through a couple of hours of stomping through the bush and stuff, but felt like a warrior again, like a man, and like I'd achieved something, and I was capable and strong, and it was amazing.
Yeah, sounds amazing.
Sounds like a perfect leader for our little our little mission that we want to do.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't do enough of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so and I think that's like something especially for us men, especially in this world, doing physical challenging things is super beneficial for our mental health. Yeah. And it doesn't have what's challenging for me might not be challenging for you, or it could be super challenging for you, but it's challenging to each individual. You know what I mean? Challenging for you might be walking 5 kilometers, and if that's challenging for you, then that's challenging for you. You know what I mean? Like, who am I to fucking judge? Like, go do that, and you will feel better than any pill, than any drug, than any podcast or music, and any of that can make you feel. And if you achieve something like that, it was like took effort. And when I'm saying like took effort, not like a 5K walk for me isn't going to be challenging, and I will finish it and I'll feel good. You know what I mean? Like, oh fuck yeah, I went on a 5K walk, but it's like today's this gym session I'm on now, because I've asked my PT to smash me because I want to be challenged. It's a mental like I'm having an argument with myself in every session. Like you can't you can't finish this, Joel. Like this is you're fucked. There's no way your body can do this much. And then when I do it, I'm like, fucking what? Yes. And like I leave a gym session like a warrior. Like I'm ready to take on the fucking world. I'm like, put me on the plane with those 9/11 hijackers. I'm fucking them up. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I feel like most men, we don't do that enough. Like, be challenged and push ourselves, and where you like put a pack on, or you know what I mean? Kayak to the next island, go to you know what I mean? Like, do something. And it doesn't have to be every week or every day or anything like that, but fucking once a month, once a year, once a 6 months, and you would completely change. It's something I've learned. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I agree with you 100%, man. 100%.
And we don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, as a society, we don't even do it. So,
no, I'm constantly challenging myself too. So I know exactly where you're coming from on that. Actually, the other day I was out bushwalking with Steve, and he says, "Oh, I'm doing the Spartan thing next month, in October." I said, "Oh, fuck yeah, I haven't never done one of those before." And I said, "Oh, I'm fucking." So I went and signed up that afternoon. So, you know, there's good little challenge. You know, 10 Ks, 20 obstacles or something like that. Like I can go run 10 Ks quite easily, but you know, add in all the obstacles and stuff. Like I'm not very physically tough or strong anymore. It's been a long time. So it's like, that'd be a nice little challenge.
It's going to be a great challenge.
Yeah, it'd be awesome, man. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I did one with my daughter, and it's one of the most proudest things, like as a dad, and it's like the best times of my life is when my daughter pushes her limits and surpasses her beliefs and limitations and expectations, and like does things. Like I was pushing her through like that obstacle thing. You know what I mean? Like not pushing her, but like, come on, you've got this. Like very supportive. And she's like, I can't. And like, oh, come on, we just got to go up there. You know what I mean? And then she does it, and you can see her proud. It was literally the best feeling. Like I get it when she's, you know, like I'm pretty adventurous, and I'm not scared of a challenge. And so like jumping off high things into water, you know what I mean? Like she's terrified, and I'll sit there with it. You know, I'm very good at coaching her to do stuff. And we'll take 5 minutes, but when she does it, it's the most thing. And so it's her challenging brings me happiness.
Yeah, those are my proud dad moments too, man. Like seeing because I got 2 daughters, and just seeing them challenge themselves as well, like you know, doing things that they don't think that they can do,
and when they persist at it, you know what I mean? And I was very big with my daughter with making her figure shit out herself. Like making her very independent thought-wise and stuff like that. You know, like if she wanted it, like she would come up, you know, most kids I've noticed these days, if they don't figure anything out in the first 10 seconds, they're asking for help and all that stuff. But I wouldn't do that. I'd like discuss with her. I'd be like, what are your thought process behind it? Like, how would you, seeing all the information you've got now, how would you go ahead with that information and tackle this task? And like, I think that's a big thing to do with kids as well. Forgot why I was talking about all this.
That's right, man. It's all right. Tangents are good, bro.
But I also, like with my daughter, if she wanted anything, she would like, I remember she wanted an iPhone 10, iPhone X or whatever it was. And I was like, why do you want it? She's like, it's a better phone, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right. And this sort of started it. And then we do it all the time now. But I now get her to write me essays. And it's like, for anything like that. And I've got to be like, it's got to be an essay that convinces me. Like, you've got to bring forth arguments to me. You know what I mean? Like,
I fucking love this.
Like, yeah. Like, so she would go on and she'd like plagiarize a couple of websites and stuff, but I jump on, you know what I mean? I'm checking it and I'm like, no, like, why? She'd be like, the camera's better. I'm like, no, who gives a fuck? Like, why? And so like, I would make her think about all that type of stuff. And then when she has arguments with her mum, like, or me or whatever, we talk about both sides of the thing and we're like, can you see why both people think like that? And then what would your decision be out of that? And so I'm trying to make her very like independent thought-wise like that. And challenge, like, so she can, when she is challenged, she can surpass it by herself. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's really healthy to have those open lines of communication with your kids. Like, I feel like when I was a kid, you know, you didn't really have that kind of voice, you know, just different eras, you know. And so growing up now with kids in this day and age, like, we are very, like if me and my daughter have a blowout, you know, we'll have it. You know, we'll go at it, whatever. Have a good little argument, but then it's afterwards. You know, we'll give each other some time, and then it's like, all right, let's talk about what happened. And now let's kind of discuss why that happened and how it happened, and let's hear each other properly without all the anger and the bullshit and stuff. But I really like that idea of writing down the reasons.
Well, because it makes them think. You know what I mean? It's all in this day and age, critical thinking is like a superpower. But yeah, with my daughter, there was a big change in my relationship with her. Like, she'd always adored me, but I wasn't always around. Like, when I was in special operations, she was in Townsville and I was in Sydney for like 5 years there. You know what I mean? Like, and I'd see her maybe once or twice a year. Like, because that job, I was on call all the time. Like, we were always doing stuff. Like, there's no respite there. So I didn't always and I'll openly admit this, because I was never the best dad. You know what I mean? And then one big thing that changed was after I got out of the army, she decided to come live with me to get to know me and stuff like that. Like, we knew each other, you know what I mean? We spoke on the phone and we hang out and we loved each other and we'd do things and stuff. But like, I didn't live with her and, you know, so therefore wasn't giving her the time and energy that she as a child deserved and needed. And I also had huge anger problems. Like, I was fucking furious. Like, I was the type of guy to punch holes in walls and doors and fucking throw shit and do all that type of stuff. But a huge thing for me with Bella was being completely open with her. All right, let's chat about me and my fucking emotions and anger, and let's chat about why I was never around, and let's chat about this, and like, I'll let you know my thought process, so you let me know your thought process. I'll let you know what I was thinking and all this type of stuff. And that was changed the relationship forever. Our relationship now, since that happened, is the best. We're so open now. She told me when she had sex. She told me, like, you know what I mean? And I don't get angry, you know what I mean? Like, because she's come to me with that. And I also realized that, like, they're kids and they're going to do everything and try everything, like just like we did, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to get angry that they've done a drug or had sex or anything like that, because, you know, I had sex at 14 and took my first drug at 14 probably, you know what I mean? Like, so I've got this now relationship with her that she can come to me and with concerns and stuff like that I think that's amazing. Yeah. Whereas, like, I've seen other friends and their kids and they don't have that. the dads are the disciplinarians, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like that's their role.
Yeah.
And that's what we got as kids. You know what I mean? Especially our era. So I think that if parents now, especially those in the dads community, if you like go very open with your kids and stuff, it really does impact and change that relationship. So like, yeah, it's amazing.
I've been open enough with my kids where even though, like, for example, if it's I won't say a girl issue, but I'm going to, Abby's still confident enough to come to me and say, I have a problem.
Yep.
And she's like, but she'll say, I don't know if I can talk to you about it, which is good because then obviously me and Lara, my wife, talk.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think like what you said is as long as, even if they can't tell me the whole story, but enough to tell me that they're in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, and then at least
I'm in the loop. You're a team.
Yeah.
So you together are a team for this.
So she gets a lot of the you know, the girly types of things with Abby and Zach as well. But I always get the, oh, Dad, he's punching me or he's bullying me, or my daughter's like, oh, Dad, she said this, he said that. So I get the fun jobs, I guess. But yeah, I see what you mean about definitely being open and clear, which is good. And I think I've noticed that has also helped because me and my wife have been a lot more open and clear too.
Especially when it comes to decision making. That was the big thing. So like instead of just saying no, be like, oh, sorry, no, we can't because of these reasons, because of blah, blah, blah. And just be truthful with them, you know what I mean? And that they're just like, oh, that's because instead, like, most of us will just say, no, you can't have that. And then the kid's like, well, fuck you then. Like, you know what I mean? But if you're like, no, you can't have that because of this reason, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, that makes sense. And then there's none of that like bad energy between you anymore because you were so open. Like, yeah, it's really beautiful. And I love that I've got that with my daughter. Like, it's amazing. It's probably the most favorite thing on earth is that, you know, that open relationship.
We, I'd like to think that I'm going to, you know, my daughter's only 10 and coming up 7, and so you know we're still in those younger years and young phases. But I'd like to think there would probably be somewhere along the lines of that too. You know, my girls are pretty pretty onto it, little lasses, and I think that you know that's a good sort of. I think, you know, the way that we've raised them too, like to be very open and empathetic and, very logical and all the rest of it too. So we don't let our kids fight with each other. Like, you know, they'll whinge and bicker at each other, but they've had one scrap where they both hit each other and then they both cried about hitting each other because they were like, oh, I think I hurt her, you know. And so we put a stamp on that sort of stuff pretty quick, and it's kind of like, you know, what's going on? Let's, you know, oh, she said this, she said that. It's like, well, okay, let's talk about it and you know, go from there and say, it's a beautiful thing that I think.
Sorry.
No, you're right, man. You're right.
I was going to say, which is good, right? I think that's really good for women, like for women and girls. But I think as boys and men, we also need another outlet when it does come to that type of stuff. I don't know if about you, but for men to release stress and emotion, it's like a physical thing for us. And so, like, for the boys, do the same thing, you know what I mean? Like, you know, chat with them with what's going on and stuff, but also, like, do that while, like, kicking the footy. You know what I mean? Like, or doing something physical with them so they get it out of there and do some big kicks or whatever. So, like, because that was another thing, like leaving the army, you stop all that physical activity. And so all this stress and everything, because that was how I was releasing it. And I didn't even realize, like every day I was releasing my stress through physical training. And then I stopped doing all that and all the stress would build up and build up and build up to the point I'd snap and fucking rip a door off its hinges. So, yeah. Sorry,
seems to be a common trend here. I hear throughout all these podcasts with exercise and mental health.
Yeah. Well,
hey, I'm starting to run.
Yeah. You started running? Yeah.
Done 5. And I've been running nearly every weekend.
Lovely.
Yep.
Nice, man.
Anyway,
nice.
I digress. But yes.
And that half marathon, here you come.
And that's literally where it all starts. You know what I mean? I walk. I don't run. I haven't run for a couple of years now because
I'm
when
regretting
I run,
it.
my knee dislocates. But I'm gonna like so my plan next year after my bodybuilding comp is I'm doing a marathon. I just can't do both. Can't compete, like train for both at the same time because they're sort of like counter fucking productive.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do a marathon, and even I haven't run in years. But
how do you manage the knee then? How will you manage?
Strap and tape and
strap.
Fucking David Goggins just ran another fucking 200 and something miles in 60 hours and came 23rd.
Crazy fuck.
And he's got no knees and he's 50 years old.
He's got meniscus on bone.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love being challenged. Like, I really do like being challenged.
Yeah.
Like, when I run, it's like, when I used to run, it's like I would want to give up. And then it's like, I have like this like reserve tank of energy in me that like only comes out when everything else is fully depleted. And then it's like I've got this whole like another full tank. It's like, it's done me well in the past. So
I'm tired, but nah, I gotta make it to that tree.
like I'll be like, oh my God, I'm about to die. And then it's like, just got to get to that tree. Yeah. And I'll hit that tree and it's like, oh, I've got to get to that next tree. And it's like, oh shit, I'm ready. I'm 100% again. Like,
yeah. It's just, it's occupying the brain with the same thing. I had a trail building job in 2013 where we had to hike a mountain every morning to work. And that year
whereabouts in New Zealand did you live? Like, were you hiking mountains to work?
I was from.
Was it a town of 50 people?
I was from West Auckland, but this was a year I spent in Canada working over there.
Yeah, okay.
And we calculated that year we hiked the equivalent of about 8.5 Mount Everests just getting to work in the mornings. So over the course of the year, and that was the same thing. It's like every morning you get up. It's like fucking in the wintertime, it was like pitch black and you're hiking up this mountain and it was just like over every rise, it's just like, just got to get to that fucking rise. Mm-hmm. And I'll just get to the next rise and then just the next rise. And then all of a sudden, an hour and a half later, you're at the top.
At the top and you're like, fuck, I just did that.
Yeah.
And then you have a good day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I normally have a good day if I do something physical in the morning.
That's right.
Even if it is just my walk.
Yeah. Yeah. I much prefer running in the morning, but I hate getting up in the morning. Yeah. I'm not a morning person.
See, I was never, my whole military career, I would struggle to get to work on time. Get out of the military, especially in the past like year, I'm up at 5 a.m. Like, every day and asleep at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's a dream.
Yeah.
I obviously am a single guy and don't live with my daughter at the moment. So I have that luxury.
Yeah. I'm currently like get the kids to bed at 8 o'clock, and then I'm like fucking study from 8 till like 11 at night, and then I'm up at 5:30 again. And it's tough life.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. There's another challenge, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like for me, it was like, well, this course is only 1 year. I've got to challenge myself. Like I haven't studied since high school.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, and now that I'm like 2.5 years sober, it was like now I feel ready to do something academically. Not physical, do something with my mind, like a mental challenge. And it was like, it's only 1 year. It's only like 12, 14 months of my life that I've got to challenge myself in this kind of way. Like if I can do this, like I know that I can physically challenge myself, but I haven't really put my mental capacity to challenge it for a long time, So, sort of, it's a tough one, but I'm getting there.
Yeah. No, I had to kind of
turning it off.
No, you're on, mate.
No, don't stress, man. You won't even pick it up. That was my train of thought.
Sorry.
Your mental capacity for your study.
Oh yeah, well that was just taking an impact on what I was able to give at night to the kids and that, and I've just put that on pause for a little bit.
Yeah.
No more limitations at the moment.
That's right. So now that you're out of the army, how long have you been out of the army for?
4 years now.
4 years, okay. So
which only doesn't feel like 4 years. Like, in my head, it's still like 2 years ago. But.
Yeah.
Was there 2 stages to how you got to where you are now? Was it you got out of the army and you found Joel here, but now you're on your other healing journey? Was there a 2-step process?
Yeah, so I hit rock bottom, and then hitting rock bottom made me, it goes one of 2 ways. You either kill yourself or you change course. And I crawled my way out. But it was like a combination of things. There was no like defining moment that like, so I went from obviously veteran warrior, you know what I mean? Like a fucking, my whole mindset was like warrior. You know what I mean? Like war fighting, everything in my life revolved around explosives, gun. You know what I mean? Like room entry, fucking IED. You know, it was like
you're assessing every situation.
Yeah, and now I'm a hippie. Well, I would class as a hippie, and it's very like two different worlds. But that happened over sort of time, and it happened over a bunch of things. I think COVID was like a big thing, because I was still in the army when COVID happened. But then my daughter, I had my daughter for like 4 months during COVID to homeschool her because the army let me go home and homeschool her while I worked from home. And so that sort of happened, and because that happened, I sort of like fell into podcasts and fell into Joe Rogan podcasts, and I'd never like didn't even know what podcasts were or who Joe Rogan was or anything. So, you know, Joe Rogan's podcasts offer different perspectives and alternative views on world and realities, and like I was like, what is this stuff? And then I think a combination of me finding weed at the same time, like I wasn't like smoking heavy or anything, but like a joint once a week or whatever, and listening to a podcast while out in nature also got me along and got me like curious as to the world, which then I'm very curious mind. I love figuring out how things work and why things work and stuff like that. So I got really curious into physics and then quantum physics because it's new emerging science, and I was reading about quantum physics when I was a teenager without even knowing about it, these different theories of the universe. But quantum physics lined up with a spiritual hippie world with light, energy, vibration and stuff like that. And then it's sort of like I started looking into that, and then their different theories and perspectives on reality and what consciousness is and gods, and then how the hippies and the metaphysical and the esoteric world healed their traumas and stuff, as opposed to the Western world, which is like through medication and stuff like that. And so the medication and stuff wasn't working for me. So I tried the other routes, which is like mindfulness and meditation and that type of stuff. And that really did work for me. And so I started putting more energy into that side of things, to this point now where like I am a hippie, but I also am very much a veteran. So I am like a combination of both worlds. So like when I'm in my hippie world and with my hippie friends, I have the same points of view with them, but I also understand and sympathize with the other side of the world, and then, you know, vice versa. So like for me, I literally see two worlds, and then I'm in the middle, and like I'm like trying to navigate this thing, you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, it's really all while, so it's like in my spiritual awakening, I suppose, everything is now new to me, if that makes sense. My perspective on literally everything has changed. So it's like I'm a child again that is experiencing stuff for the first time, because that's the reaction my brain and body is responding to some of this. Like I remember at the moment I stopped looking at the bush for enemy and started looking at it for like flowers and like, you know, being in the moment. So that's another big thing. Just being in the moment is like the biggest mental health change for me. But yeah, it's like then I was looking at the bush instead of like looking for enemy signs and glints and stuff like this, and signs of like people had been there and footprints and broken branches and all that stuff. Now I'm looking at like I'm listening for birds instead of listening for birds flying away because someone might have disturbed it. I'm listening for their songs, and I'm looking at mushrooms and I'm looking at flowers and the different color leaves, and I'm thinking about what happened to this fucking version of trees? What happened to that made it evolve so differently from the plant right next to it? You know what I mean? Like that's the type of stuff. And like,
just fucking seagulls thinking the same shit during
and so
my
like
drive home the other day.
So like this
crazy
world of like, and so now I'm on this journey of like understanding and like trying to figure out, like today I just spent like an hour just chatting with ChatGPT about consciousness and about what that is. And like, yeah. And I found that me living this life has made me happier and I don't know, more in tune and connect with nature, the universe and myself. So for me, that's where I think I'm heading.
So how did you deal with trying to make yourself more present? You're saying that was a big issue. That I myself That's a big issue for me too. Just enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
Any tips?
Yeah. So once I understood, I heard someone say that, or a video or a clip or whatever, someone said that depression is living in the past and anxiety is living in the future, as you're in your head, and then like a bunch of other things like, once you add in the knowledge that time doesn't really exist, time is like relative to us, to humans, because that's how we've constructed it to then make our lives easier. But like to a photon, to light, to a photon, time, it's been around since the Big Bang. But to that photon, it is the Big Bang still. It is 100 billion years in the future. It is right now, and it is over there, here, and everywhere, all at the same time, and there's one moment. And so, coupling that the only time to really ever exist is this moment right now. The other times don't really exist and then you're not coupled with the fact that 50%, there's like heaps of studies into this, 50% of all of our memories are actually bullshit. It's actually our brain just filling in the fog. And then like the future never happens, and it's it could be a trillion fucking realities in the future. So why stress about that? Because you don't know like any of that. And so I think that, you can only ever really be in the moment. And the way I did it was going on my walks, looking at like nature, sitting down, being in silence, and being in tune in touch with myself.
So no music?
I listen to music. I don't. For me, music's fine.
Yeah.
But, the times when I'm not listening to music, and I do, and especially like through depression and stuff, like when I have my depressive, like I'm not healed.
Yeah, we've got it.
We've got it. You know what I mean? And like I'm just getting better and better at the time span of having depression is getting shorter and shorter, and I'm getting like.
We get better at learning how to manage it and be with it.
The times I've like had proper like awakenings and like solved and epiphanies and stuff like that was sitting in silence and sitting with those emotions and those feelings. Like after a breakup, like instead of like just walking around mopey for a fucking 3 weeks, like I sat there crying for like 3 days. You know what I mean? Like we just sat there and felt it, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, I'm good. And then literally was like, holy shit, I am good with everything, and I've like figured out where I want to go in life, and like. But another thing that keeps me in the moment is like other activities I do is I fire twirl. So I sit there and I am literally fire twirling, and that's me being in the moment. What else do I do in the moment? I like everything I try and do is in the moment. Like you got to just focus on doing that. You know what I mean? And meditation and all that, being in the moment isn't stopping these thoughts from coming in your head. It's allowing the thoughts to come in, but not judging them and allowing them to just fuck off. So it's like they're just flowing through you, and you're just not putting the energy into it. You know what I mean? And that's your brain being empty because this shit's just flowing through you. And if you can do that, like you can do it with music. Put music on and go walking, and just like look at things and smell things, and that's being in the moment. You know what I mean? Like I stop and see. Like if I see. Like the other day, I sit outside on my grass. I was just on the lawn a lot, like literally just in the sun, and I sit there with music on, throwing the ball for my dog, or not throwing the ball, or doing whatever. Like I ground. So that's one of the first things I do in the mornings. I go and ground. I believe in it, 100%. But I was sitting there and I was just like looking, and I was like, oh, and I started looking at the grass, and then I was like looking deeper into the grass, and I was like, shit, man, my grass is filled with ladybugs. And so I'm like watching the ladybugs, and I'm just like, you know what I mean? That's just me being in the moment. It's just like watching them do their thing, because I've got no other thoughts going on other than like, how fucking amazing is this? Like, this sounds so simple, and I would laugh at myself if I heard me saying that a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
but like now it's like, yeah, amazing.
I do the same thing, bro. If I see bugs, man, I stop and I look. Yeah. I look at them. I don't care what else is going on. I don't care who's around me.
Yep.
If I see a bug, like I'm like checking that shit out because he's cool.
He's in his lane, man. He's just doing what he's programmed to do.
Birds, like near my place where I'm living at the moment, I've just given it up, but there's two massive, I think they're called like white-breasted seahawks, and they're just constantly like, they dive down and get
Do they
fish.
look like eagles?
Yeah, they're like huge.
What are they
things.
called?
They're like white-crested see.
Yeah, cool. Because my wife saw one the other day and she was like, I think I saw an eagle today.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we'll have to figure
And there's
out
this pair that they just sit in the wind right above the water and they'll dive down and get it. And I can just sit there for like, half hour looking at them. And that's being in the moment.
Yeah, man.
It's like watching a fire.
And being in the moment is super powerful. Like it really is. Like all that shit you worry about, all that stress and everything, no matter what it is, your practice for being in the moment, it goes. You know what I mean? It's just gone. Even if it's for half hour.
Yeah.
Like that's amazing that it's gone for half hour because it's half hour less you have to deal with that shit.
Mine's on a Friday night, sitting by the fire and just watching that fire.
So that is a form of meditation. So there's ancient traditions go right back into fire staring, and it's actually a tradition that just got passed on to me a few months ago when I got this tattoo. So this tattoo is like a hand tattoo, and it's a very ritualistic tattoo. It's very this has a lot of meanings. But the guy who gave me the tattoo afterwards, we had a fire, and he pulls out a piece of charcoal and he goes, "So this tradition was passed on to me. And I've been doing it ever since, and I'm going to pass it on to you if you'd like to accept it." I was like, fuck yeah. And he's like, I don't know when it started, but someone at some point took a piece of coal from the fire, and then the next fire they went to, they put it in there, and then they took a piece out when the fire finished, and that's been passed on and passed on and passed on. Because if you believe in energy, the energy of all the trees and everything that's around it has been passed on, because energy is never destroyed, it's only transmuted or transferred. And all the stories and the energy of the people sitting around every single one of these fires is now carried on from fire to fire to fire. So now I have a piece of charcoal that I take to every fire, and I'll take a piece of charcoal from that fire. So then it gets added on. That charcoal will then have all the stories of all the previous ones and then the new ones, and then keeps getting added on.
So you constantly...
Yeah, so it's a little cool tradition that,
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm taking some coal to your house, mate.
That's it.
Yeah, so I got this little orange container. That's just got a little piece of charcoal in it now that it sits I'm not carrying it around on me, but it sits in my van. And if I have to go to a fire, I'll add that to it and take a piece. And then it's my way of sharing that beautiful energy.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, man. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, it's cool, man. I like that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that stuff. And so where do you see the future taking you, man?
So I've just started making these. So this is called Orgonite. This is a type of so what it is it's an EMF protector, electromagnetic frequency, but it's also it transmutes bad energy into good energy. And it's done that through, there's a combination of metals in there. Some metals attract and some repel energies. Then there's the organic resin, a crystal combination that I come up with, and then the symbology behind it all. And it creates essentially a field around you that protects you, but also depending on the intent, crystals and symbologies I put into it, so just say you wanted to be clear, more confident with your communication stuff, because you do a podcast and stuff, I would create one around that and using the colors and symbology and crystals, and you'd also protect you from your EMF stuff like that. And that seems to have taken off quite. When I say taken off, it's not selling millions of stuff, but there is a market for it. And it's not I didn't come up with this or anything. But I've been wearing this one now for 2 years and I haven't taken it off. I believe in it, and it's funny because I was talking about crystals and stuff. Here I am, this fucking army guy, talking about crystals and crystal energy, and I would have laughed about that a couple of years ago, 100%, until I realised I've been working with crystals in the army, and every probably army guy has, or most of them have, work with crystals, have crystals, every watch pretty much has quartz crystal in it. Barbecue lighters are made with quartz crystal. Not your Bic lighter, but your
okay, now I'm right then.
Your push button lighters.
Yeah.
So quartz. So there's this terminology called piezoelectric. Piezoelectric is when you squeeze quartz or apply pressure to quartz, it produces an electrical charge. So that's how that's why quartz is used in watch batteries and stuff, because the movement of it creates tiny electrical charges that keeps your watch charged. In the army, we use it in things for high explosive anti-tank rounds, so stuff to puncture through armor. the way that works is you want to punch through armor. It's going to hit here first. The front, just say this is the projectile. It's going to hit there first. But the way the anti-armor stuff works is it's got to detonate from the back. And so the front here will be covered in quartz, like inside of it. So when that gets crushed, it sends an electrical impulse to the back, which then sets off the explosive, and then so it can do its thing. So it's used in like weaponry and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, so quartz does have power. Quartz is a crystal and does hold energy. And I was like, started looking into it. And I was like, well, you can't deny that crystals don't have energy. And then if we know things of like everything is vibrating at this subatomic like quark level, you know what I mean? And producing a certain type of frequency, and then we know that certain type of frequencies affect people certain ways and stuff like that. So I started putting all this like, information together, and I was like, I can't deny it now. What I thought was hippie, woo-woo, fucking stupid, woman stuff back in the day, technically, like, because it was mainly women that did it, is now I'm like, it's coming from a scientific point of view. I was like, I can't see, like, yeah, I believe in it. Now, whether that has that effect on the person or not, that's where the scientific stuff comes into it. But once again, placebo effect, if you believe it does, then it'll work for you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's like I've had this on ever since I was probably like 14 or 15. Yep. And it's a toki, so it's the shape of like an adze head. Yep. And just been, sort of the greenstone and stuff like that, been blessed by Māori tribe, where my dad got it from. And they give them to the young warriors before they become a man. Yep. Because it's sort of there to protect them and to help them. And yeah, I've worn it ever since. Yeah, nice. And only time I don't wear it is when it snaps there, and then I need to get it redone and re-blessed. But I truly believe that it's helped me through many parts of my life. Just having that something that you think gives you that little bit of strength. It's like, I guess that's what religion is to some kind of way, it gives people hope, gives people the strength. I'm not religious, but I do believe in some kind of spiritual level. I mean, we don't plug ourselves in at nighttime, so I more believe in like Mother Nature and the earth and everything. The world works as a big machine as one, and but yeah, I believe that that we have these things that hold the power. And so, yeah.
That's it. I need a necklace. I've only got this one, and it was like $50 off somewhere.
Oh, there you go.
I don't even know what the hell tooth.
Looks like a tooth. Looks like a fucking velociraptor.
Yeah.
Fucking.
It's a crystal tooth. It's a No, I think it's glass.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what it is. They pegged. They said it was something.
There you go.
But I don't feel any different. It's $50 lighter.
Almost looks like a bit of obsidian.
But you must feel something different if you keep wearing it. You must you think it must look good on you, which makes you feel different.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Not that I've ever thought that when I look in the mirror and I see it, I go, oh.
Yeah.
No, but
I mean, I love this one when I'm running and it's just smashing me in the face and smashing my collarbones and shit. I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah, that's why I've done this one up tight, like I think it's there, because I had it down here and it would do the same.
I think it's more there in case it does do something. I'd rather have it than not have it.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my journey, I think I'm going to create a lot more of these. I'm about to head up to Port Douglas in the next couple of weeks, where I'm going to probably spend the rest of the year. And I'm putting together a shop where I'm not only going to, so it's called the Element Alchemist. And it's essentially, I'll be selling products related to each element, so fire, earth, air, and water, and then ether. One of them being, so the earth one is obviously this, because this is all made from earthly materials. The water, there's ferrofluid. Do you know what ferrofluid is? So ferrofluid's essentially it's like iron sulfide, which is really fine iron, in like an oil, which is in a substrate. So it's like this, almost looks like venom, that symbiote black thing. And there's little devices that react, electromagnetic
I've seen it.
And it reacts to music and they like dance.
Yeah.
And then there's these other devices called Plant Music. That's one brand, but essentially it's these devices that you attach to plants and it reads the bioelectric feed going through the plants. So, and then it converts that into sound. So then you can communicate with the plants. And like, it sounds like bullshit, but they've been doing this since the 70s. And then I've gone to workshops where like we were like doing it, right? And then this chick's like, what would happen if we just cut the plant down? Well, like what noise would it make? And the plant just stopped talking, and it hadn't done that. You know, it'd been making noise for 15 minutes, and then it just stopped. So I want to sell them because I've got these art designs that I want to do with, and I'm combining the ferrofluid and this thing. And then the other one is my fire starm. So I'm going to create custom ones and non-custom ones. So like, you know, bought and sell them, and then go around to all my festivals and sell all this stuff. It's really just, for me, it's about transforming energy into art. Like, because I'm very big on energy and like the exchange of energy. And I think I went from like trying to heal veterans by trying to teach them about this stuff, and I realized it wasn't me. You know what I mean? I'm not trying. I'm healing myself. I'm not a subject matter expert, and I had this like imposter syndrome type thing, and it never sat with me, and I never really went ahead with it. But creating, every human is a creator. Like, I think that's what humans are here for, is to create, right? But to create, you also have to destroy. It goes in hand, but we are creators. And if I can create stuff that changes someone's energy, maybe not forever, but for that moment or that thing, then that to me brings me happiness.
Yeah, man. Nah, man. Oh,
it's awesome.
Awesome, bro.
I have to get a link for your necklace, man. I think my dad might fancy one of them, I think.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, like if you've got any links you want to share, we'll chuck them in the bottom of our description on YouTube.
Well, the Element Alchemist, that's just where I'm like, I've just started that and just started posting videos on me, how I make these and talking about them and stuff like that. But otherwise, it's just my Joel Crowe on whatever.
On Insta. Yep. On the Insta.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, well, fuck, man. Awesome. Thanks for coming.
No worries.
Chatting with us, bro.
Thank you.
It's been,
sorry, I talked your ears off.
No, not at all, man. Love it.
Man. That was
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's
man.
Awesome.
So
I'm glad that you're doing your thing and enjoying your life, man.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you over there. All quiet.
Yep.
So just remember, if you like what we do, like, share, comment, drop us some comments. We'll put Joel's links in our descriptions, so you can go check out his shit. And
if you have anything that you disagree with, send it this way. Like, send it to these guys and let's bloody talk about it.
That's right. That's right. Right,
the
man.
haters.
Yeah, we love them. We love them. Peace out. Cheers.
Real talk. We're putting it all on the table. You know what to do.